Hi all! Welcome back to some more Empyrion. We're doing a BuildN'Chat today, and we've got LiftPizza's and TheeWolf flying around here somewhere.
Hey.
Oh, there he goes. And we have a bunch of behind-the-scenes recordings for everybody. So.
Oh, we got a lot of interesting topics and a lot of interesting things going on for you guys. You're going to enjoy it. We've been having a blast. So far, I'm the only one not building anything. I've just been watching these guys build them, but we've been just sitting here chit-chatting, and
Yep.
It's just been a lot of fun. You guys are going to enjoy it.
Yeah. So the idea is that what I wanted to do is, you've probably seen concepts like this in other games, and it's something that I haven't really seen done in Empyrion yet. And I wanted to have a chance for the community to ask questions of people that they see that do YouTube, maybe do Twitch, or just our community contributors. There's a couple of people that I've reached out to, and I'm hoping to get some feedback from them soon for future episodes. But with both TheeWolf and Lift, both of you guys are fairly well known in the community. Both have a really good following, great presence in the community. And I think one of the big things is that you both do a lot of modding. You like Lift did a tutorial for custom planets. You actually have a server where you've customized a lot of things. And we talked a little bit about that in the early stuff while we were getting set up.
Right.
So I just wanted to, bring up some questions that people had asked me about before. Things like talking about modding and custom planets. It's like when you're building a custom planet, how do you choose your theme for the planet? Like, what are you going to change? Why are you thinking about changing things like that?
As in, like, the design itself of the planet, the feel we're trying to get from it?
Yeah.
Well, that really is based for me on like I said, the feeling of it. If it's snow planet, I want it. For me, it's more of a cool, calm feeling, and that's what I run with. That's why when I make snow planets, they have a really dark blue sky. They're very vibrant. They're very, very bright, but not like overwhelming that you cover your eyes bright. But they got that sense of calming feeling when it comes to it. So that's why when I'm building it and I'm working with the coding, I try and make sure that the atmosphere, the clouds are moving really slow. The skies are very bright. The sun's glow through the clouds and the skies that's coming through is a very vibrant, bright light, but the sky itself is a very calming blue, it's a dark shade. So it's just all a matter of feeling for me when I go and I'm messing with the files.
Okay. How about you, Lift?
Yeah, with the planets, I tend to come up with either a color or a sort of a temperature or that sort of thing, and try to base everything around that. So, come up with, I want a planet that's, yellow or green or whatever, and try to work, figure out what plants will fit with that and that sort of thing. And you just kind of try to think, you picture an ecosystem, well, what lives here? And that sort of thing, and how does it, what does it eat, or that sort of thing. And I mean, you're kind of limited with the plant and animal selections at this point, but it's actually been quite a while since I did a custom planet, so I'm sure there's a lot more selection now. They added in like all the glowing plants and all that stuff too.
Right, and we got all the new particle effects in there now. And...
yeah, and all the weather and everything. So I'm sure it's even more involved as far as being able to come up with a theme and stuff. But that's why I put a thread on the forums that was I took a screenshot of like every plant. Because the names don't necessarily match what you're seeing in the picture.
Right.
And so I put up a thread on the forums where you could find which plants are which. And so that's why I did that, because I wanted to be able to just look at pictures and match them up with what I wanted to have the feel of the planet be.
Okay. And then, TheeWolf, you actually have one as well, right? Talking about some of because people had been asking you about the custom server mods that you had been doing.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be doing an episode for everybody because the high demand of everybody asking the questions. I just can't answer them all. So I'm actually going to be doing an episode for everybody to see. They'll actually go to see me manipulating the files and see how it's actually done. Like, for instance, the Jupiter planets that we made, these Titan worlds, they were designed and they were 3 times bigger than the average planets in the game. And everybody asked, well, how can you do that? Well, it's actually not that hard. But we'll get into detail on that later on, I think. But Like, we had these planets, and the feel I wanted to get from it was, I don't want to be here. This is my worst nightmare. So when you go to these planets, the clouds are flying over your head at like 350 miles an hour. There's meteors just falling 24/7. There's geysers everywhere spitting stuff out. There's drones all over the place. The water level's lava. The land mass is barren, and there's just empty rocks everywhere. You just get that feeling that you're on a Jupiter planet that looks like Mars under the clouds.
Right.
And like I said, for me, it was just all a matter of feeling. So that's what I went with it. So the planets are red. The sky color when the sun shines through, when it can, through the clouds, is red. And it's just got that ominous feeling to it.
Right on. Okay. So, out of everything that you've done for custom planets and all of the mods and everything, what would you say is probably your favorite planet setup?
The Titan planets, and I hate them.
My favorites
Usually
are the ones
when
I
somebody
hate,
asks what your favorite planet is, it's not the one that you hate. Yeah.
Well, I think the most beautiful planet was actually not done by me. It was Dust, and it was done by Magic Slayer. And he's a YouTuber. You should definitely go check his channel. He does some amazing stuff there. But he spent most of his time doing that planet by himself. I had almost nothing to do with it, but it just came out beautiful. It was a barren world. It had the most beautiful blue shade that comes across the skyline when the sun's around. The night times are gorgeous. I think that's the one that I like the most, but the one I'm most proud of is the Titan Worlds, because we spent so much time working on those. They just came out so perfect. And they are the worst environment. You don't want to stay there. Once you get there, you get your work done. You do everything you can to get away from it, because you just don't want to hear it anymore.
Oh, nice. How about you, Lift?
I think the favorite one that I've seen, the nicest one that I've seen, was the jungle planet that. I think it was Vexray had all the custom planets that he did when they first came out with them.
Right.
But yeah, there was a really beautiful jungle planet. I don't remember the name of it. It's the one that I built that diamond thing next to. I had that in the background when I was building that. But yeah, it was. I wish I could remember the name of it. But it was really beautiful, and it was actually extremely demanding on the video too, because I mean, you'd land in a forest and you couldn't see like 2 inches in front of your face. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face because there was so much plants and everything.
We did the same thing to one of our planets, but we actually had to tone it down a little bit. It was just too much for the server.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's how you know you've gone a little too far. Right on. So we've already, it came up while we were talking about it with the tutorial. So if you have links to the threads or videos when you're ready for them, let me know. And we'll put them in the description for the video here so people can actually go find those if they're curious and want to see more about it. If you haven't done so already, folks, the links to both TheeWolf and Lift's channels will also be in the description. And I believe you guys are already on the sidebar on the main channel. So if you're not, I'll make sure you get over there.
Okay.
But I think you are. So, logic programming. Yay, logic gates. What do you guys think about this system?
I love it. I love it.
I hated it.
I hated it up until about last week.
Oh, you finally got things to start working for you?
No, I finally got somebody in the community that knows all about it.
Ah.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
He taught me that it's actually not that difficult. And what I like about them is the fact that you can set it up. So, for instance, we'll take the hover vessels. You can bring it up to the side of like a freighter that I designed, and I got the sensor set up. So when I come up to it, it lowers the ramps, opens the door, lets me fly in, and it closes the ramps, it closes the door, and it causes me no hassle whatsoever.
Yeah. Now, I actually had some people asking about that specific setup. So I'm not going to name any names. I'm just kind of curious as whether or not that person was the one who was asking about that. Because I ended up having to do a tutorial for someone literally with that exact setup, where we have doors and ramps that were tied together so that you would be able to walk up, it would open, like things would power on. And
was this like when 6.0 first came out? Somebody asked you that?
Actually, it was, I don't know, maybe about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now. I had somebody recently asking me about it as well. I've gotten a lot of questions about it.
Okay, I was going to say, if it was over a month ago, like when 6.0 came out, I remember, because it was me then.
Yeah, so...
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I went to Haladmer for advice. You should too.
Well, it's kind of interesting because we talk about the YouTube community and specifically the Empyrion community, both on and off of YouTube, and it really is one of the more supportive communities out there. Because there's this whole perception that YouTubers are in competition with each other, or that there's all this drama and everything, and it's like it's not really there for this group of people.
No.
And it's one of the.
The biggest thing about the Empyrion community that I've noticed is that we're all, those of us that communicate with each other, we're all trying to help each other work together. There's no adversarial pursuits there of who's got the better channel trying to outwit someone else. We're actually working together, and we actually communicate to improve each other's channels.
Right. Yep.
I mean, the community that I run, that's what we're all about, is literally just is trying to improve each other. If we notice something that's off in somebody's channel, we let them know. We don't sit there and complain or write comments and bad things about them. We try and help each other out. You know?
Did you see those shoes he was wearing?
Hey, we're not going back to the ARC days. Leave ARC out of this.
Yeah, so it is one of the things that I really enjoy about what we all do, and the fact that we can even do things like this where we get people together and we just talk about what we're working on, or take time and talk about what's going on in the game and the community.
Yeah, we're not sitting here trying to keep secrets from each other.
Yeah.
Now this is my idea. This is how I did it. I'm not telling you. I can't stand that kind of mentality.
Well, that was one thing with Minecraft that kind of kept me from getting involved too much in trying to do stuff with Minecraft. Was it's like everybody's so possessive of, if you build, if you put two of these blocks together and all of a sudden, there's people comment, well, somebody else did that first. You have to credit them for putting those two blocks next to each other. And it's like everybody acts like they're the inventor of this or that. You know what I mean? It's like,
right. And
there's nothing that's new in Minecraft. So it's and it just seemed like there was so much of this person did this first.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we do have to try and maintain the credit where credit is due, and that's what we try and do, especially in my community, is like everybody knows what I've built, but I tell everybody, you take what I've built and run with it and make it your own. I want to see what you come out of. Everything I do, everything I built, everything I show everyone is all about trying to inspire people to be more creative, to go beyond that simple just throwing blocks together and making it work, and then game over. What else you got to do, right?
Right.
There's so much more to this game after you get a capital vessel. Instead of just being like, what do I do now? Make up your own stuff afterwards. Design a ship for a specific purpose and have an adventure.
Right. So, okay, so let's bring it back to the logic gates, because we did kind of leave that hanging. Not that I mind. I actually don't mind. I like being able to have these types of conversations. So, but for the logic gates. So, as the system is developed right now and deployed right now, what are features you would like to see? I know personally, and this is something that I have been very, very vocal about on the forums and in recordings and stuff, is I want them to put in the damn timer blocks. Give us real timer blocks and allow us to loop signals back. We can't do either of those things right now.
Yep, that's what I want. I want to be able to I want it to be Turing complete, basically.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind being able to do that too.
Yeah, I want to be able to build stuff that can propagate a signal beyond the current tick, and you can count and have a persistent memory type of thing, and that kind of thing. Because you can do so much more once you can start doing that.
Yeah. So I think my biggest gripe with the system as it is the fact that signal logic cannot be looped back.
Yep.
And it's like, if you don't want to put timer blocks in, and I can understand not wanting timer blocks
allow us to complete the circuits that way.
Right. At least allow us to loop the circuit back so that we can cheat the timer blocks by using delays. It's just pet peeve of mine.
I think it is of a lot of people. I mean, even for myself and a lot of the guys in our community, I hear the same thing, is they would give anything to be able to loop a circuit back or use timer blocks.
Yeah. And like I said, I know it's something that I get asked about a lot. Because I don't know how it happened, but I seem to have become the person that's like, oh, we've got a timer question. Let's go ask Hal.
Yep.
Well, I kind of do, myself on my end, push people your way to go ask you the questions, because I don't feel like answering them at the time. So, a lot of that might be my fault, and I do apologize, but...
Oh, no worries.
You're the one with the tutorial video, not me.
What's that? Sorry?
You're the one with the tutorial video, not me.
Yeah, I know. I brought it on myself in that regard. It's fine. I actually don't mind. I enjoy working with the system. It's just like I said. It's pet peeve of the. It needs to be an actual system.
I mean, I did just release a video showing step for step how to set up that circuit to open the ramps and the doors at the same time off of the same circuit. Big Feet was the one who went through it step for step verbally and made sure that everybody could see how it's done for all the circuits and all the doors on my freighter. Everything is automatic now on that freighter.
Nice.
So if you really want to see how that part's done, definitely go check that out. Big Feet. Thank him if you go check it out. Make sure you put a comment there thanking him for his time and doing that for us. It was amazing. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even know how to do it. But it saved so much time on my end, not to do anything anymore except walk or drive. It's great.
Nice. Okay, so I'm sitting here building this little SV. We're talking about all this stuff, and you know, I forgot to put power cell in it. Crap. Oh, all right. So whoa, what the?
I got that on camera too. That was amazing.
Did you get launched?
Yeah, I took myself out of God mode by accident.
Oh.
And decided, yeah, we're going to put you over there instead.
You collided, yeah.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen that are from my channel, yes, I'm actually have God powers on. I'm actually using God mode. It's amazing. Look at it. Check it out. Whee! I can actually fly through everywhere. It's amazing. Yeah, I never get to do this on the server. It's fun. I'm loving it. Now these guys are building, and I feel bad that I'm not building, but you know, I kind of spawned too much stuff in, and I'm afraid if I build something else, I'll crash the server.
Nah, you're good.
I mean, well, it's also the fact that I'm not in the faction yet. You know, I've applied, but they don't like me enough to put me in. And if I turn the turrets in, it might blow everything up.
We were waiting for you to apply for like an hour. It finally applies when I'm not paying attention and it starts complaining. That's how it is. Sheesh. See what we got to work with around here, guys? God.
YouTube competition.
That's right. Oh, man. All right, let me get this engines back in here. Swear. There we go. Okay, so...
Hal thought this was going to be easy. I have to make it hard. I have to.
Yeah, no, right? So, in general, when we're talking about Ilion and we're talking about Empyrion and the way that they're doing mods and mod support, are there any things you'd like to see them change, add, remove from the modding support?
Actually, I'm going to jump right in here on this one real quick. We have the whole community, every single person in our community that plays Empyrion, including all the YouTubers who supported it, put in a petition to the developers themselves in the community forums, and we added a link to show all of the people who petitioned into it. There's already every name of every YouTuber that's backing this. The only thing we really ask for right now are two things: throwable grenades by AIs and players.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be the best thing in the world. And being able to dock CVs to CVs. That's all we ask.
Spaceball 1. That's going to be
it.
the first thing that happens. When you dock CVs to CVs is going to be Spaceball 1.
And that wouldn't be a bad thing. So.
It really isn't.
Nope.
I mean, because you got so many different types of ships you make. Like, for instance, we got, I mean, you look around and see the ships that I got floating around here. But you got this carrier, for instance, but you can have drop ships that go from the carrier down to the planets, but you'd have to do them out of small vessels. Well, small vessels don't cut it. They're too small. Small vessels are like fighters and troop transports. But it would just be amazing to be able to take these other designs that these people come up with, to be able to dock them to their capital vessel. It would just create a whole new inspiration and creativity to everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there'd just be so much new stuff coming out of it. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, no, it would be nice. I think I actually have also signed in on that.
Yep.
There was, if I remember correctly.
You did put your stamp on it.
Okay, because I agree. I think that
You have to give me a link to that.
Yeah, I think that type of addition to the game would be awesome. The grenades, I'll be honest, I'm still on the fence with the whole grenade idea. However, the other pieces of it, I do agree, I think would be awesome to have.
Well, the reason why, the big thing is we had a long discussion about it. The grenades would be great because if you think about it, right now the only implementation of weapon we have is straightforward firing weapons that you hold in your hands. Well, realistically, in any game, any aspect, or real life, grenades are a real thing. You can bounce them off a wall and go around the corner, set it off, raid the room, and shoot whatever's left. It just makes sense. Instead of having to move your character into the line of fire and shoot a rocket down the hallway. It would just add another dynamic to the game. It would be amazing. Especially if AIs throw it back at you. You're coming up on them around the corner. Here comes a grenade. Duck and cover.
Oh, yeah. No, I fully agree that I think it would be a really interesting mechanic to see implemented in the game. But with... I think you guys have all seen... I blow myself up all the time with stupid crap, so...
But that's the other incentive.
That's the fun of it.
I mean, come on. Your subscription count would probably triple the first time you threw a grenade.
That's a vote of confidence.
This is very true. But yeah, no, it's...
Manage to kill yourself and blow up your ship all in one shot.
I know, right? That would be hilarious, though. But yeah, overall, I think it'd be a good addition to the game. I think one of the biggest things I would like to see is the ability to have custom blocks introduced, like the player create character models and things, or item models.
That's a lot of work for the developers to come up with, though, to be able to add to it. That would be a major overhaul.
Well, see, that's the thing, is that it really all they would need to do is allow for the workshop to import a file into the block directory, basically. As long as everything checks out, it would be fine. They'd have to build it into the dev kit.
True. I mean, I could see it, and it would make it an amazing thing being able to manipulate it to fit the style of build that you're doing. And I would like to, believe me, I support that idea, because I mean, if you look at the ship builds that I do, I always run into the same thing. You always hear me because I'm trying to get the shape and I can't.
Yeah.
And then I spend weeks trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it because now I'm stumped.
All right.
I'd love it if they would release the format for the blueprints and stuff. Basically, even have an official spec or whatever that somebody could write a third-party external editor.
Right.
Because for some of this stuff, trying to build in first person, I mean, when you're doing the interiors, it's nice, but when you're trying to do like an exterior, like a big shape, you're trying to build something like that, like the ship above me, this giant, huge ship. And if you could just basically draw a two-dimensional shape and extrude it out along its length, and that sort of thing, it would be really nice to be able to do that.
Are you kidding me? I would have built that thing in less than a month instead of the 3 months it took me.
Yeah, you could build that in an afternoon.
Yeah, and one of the things we were talking about off camera is there's a third-party application that's doing something like that for various applications, and they've started tying it into some of the games, some of the open world sandbox voxel games. And it'd be nice to see them partner up with the folks over at Liaison and maybe do something with it there. Because it's just, we've got these great systems, and it's just something is just missing. And I know that the guys will get it eventually. It's just trying to figure out what it is that we really want to see as a community, as well as, not like compromising their idea of the vision for the game. So.
I mean, I'm a big supporter of the way things are vanilla, the way that they've designed everything, and that's one of the big key things we try and maintain when we're designing our planets on our server. And I don't want it to change. I want it to progress. I love that fact, but the way that they're trying to go with it is, what I support the most. And I really hope they don't change that direction they're trying to go just because of the community complaints and stuff like that from other people. Because there are a lot of complaints that are pushing to change things to a different way when there shouldn't be. I love the way the seeds are working on the planets. I love the way certain planets only house certain things. You're not just going to get things everywhere. You got to actually go find it. I mean, one thing I don't like myself is the fact that you can live on any planet and get everything you need there. The only thing, it's like, why even go to space?
Right.
Exactly.
That's why I designed our server. Every planet only houses certain resources. You actually have to travel. You have to visit these other planets to get these resources in order to progress where you want to with things. Otherwise, it's just, it gets really boring. That's why people build a capital vessel, go to space, and then they're like, now what?
Right. And that is definitely one of the things about the replayability of the game. It's after you've done everything in the game once, it basically becomes, okay, I'm just going to go into a free build and, do crafting kind of thing.
Or I'm going to blow everything up, Yeah,
I'm going to blow everything up.
But that's the whole point of what we're doing on our server, is trying to make sure that there is that extra. That's the next step. After you get to space, you got to get to these other planets, get the resources. You got to explore and actually find out what's on these planets and how to survive on them. Some of these planets you cannot survive in the daytime, period. Like the Jupiter planets, you go down, if you're in sunlight, you're dead.
Yeah.
You die, the heat kills you. It's like being in the movie Riddick, when he's on that one planet when the sun comes, there's a giant wall of fire coming. I wish I could get that in the game. I'm trying. The giant wall of fire coming over the horizon. But once that sun comes up, the temperature goes up to over 600 degrees. And if it's midday, you're at about 1,000 degrees. You're dead. You can only work at night on this planet. But it's the only planets like that. So every planet you go to is going to be a totally different experience. Like on the ice planets, you can't do anything at night. You can only do things during the daytime.
Nice.
That's what I'm hoping the developers go for, is they start changing it to match what they're trying to do. Like what they did with the seeds. Some of these seeds you can only get on certain planets, and that's in a certain biome. Unless you go to a trader and buy them, of course,
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm hoping they keep going in that direction, and they actually make things a little more scarce between planets, so you can't get everything and you're stuck on one playfield, and then once you're done with it, you really don't have anything else to do.
Right. Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see where they go from here. I mean, they've gotten to the point where I think that the community, like I said, the community is definitely going to be behind them no matter what they do.
Oh yeah.
It's just, figuring out, which way are they really going to take it, basically. If that makes sense.
I mean, they'll stand behind 100% if they let us have grenades.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so I cannot get the bloody block to do what I want it to do.
I feel like I'm watching a Haladmer episode.
God. Alright, let me see here. See if I get... Okay, that does that.
I'm having more fun watching these guys build. That's why I'm not building, guys.
He needs to run across... If it's going to be a real episode, he needs to run across the planet after his ship gets blown up.
Oh, Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Yeah.
Another vote of confidence, right?
Yeah, no joke, right? Yeah, I do seem to be the master of the run of disgrace there, right? The run of shame.
The run of shame, yeah. The walk of shame.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's fun. Alright. So, let's talk about the general gameplay, because I know, Lift, you hate the character progression as it is right now.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to bring that up with me?
My biggest complaint with the character progression is that it is rags to riches. There's no between right now. Right. It's basically you have nothing, and then you have as much as you'll ever need, and there's not really any...
In less than a day.
Yeah. And there's no between phases. There's no, okay, I have enough to build this weapon, but not. I have to choose which of these I'm going to build because I only have so much of this resource.
Yeah, see, that's one of my biggest gripes there. It just drives me nuts. That's why, especially like I've been saying already, on our server, the progressions, you can level all the way up, but you still don't get everything until you actually go and get out of the galaxy, or the solar system. Because it just pisses me off. I mean, I spent 2 months trying to manipulate the player progression system so it would slow down or be harder or anything. And I'd still have this one guy on my server within 3 hours, after 3 months of me manipulating the files, was still max level and had everything, and was already on the moon and had to start receiving. I was like, are you kidding me?
That's why you have to make the mineral deposits are all like 20 and 25 and stuff.
Oh, no, I'm mean. Let me tell you how this works. On our planets, you can't mine any of the deposits or the meteors that fall until you build a mining facility first.
Nice.
So you have to actually get a mining license on our server to be able to mine the asteroids that fall down to the planet. But this guy somehow still got to max level within 3 hours, built a small vessel, was already on the moon, took out the POIs around it, got his starter CV, was already on his way.
Oh, you're always going to run into the power gamers. I mean, you're going to get the people who they know the system well enough to...
Yeah.
Well, it's not that. It's just too easy to level up to max level. That's the problem. Yeah. They need to make it so getting to level 25, actually, the XP that we get everything, they should cut it down to like 10% of what it is. And that would slow it down and make it where you actually have to work to get to end game.
Well, you should have to do a variety of things to get to end game too, you know? Not just the same thing over and over and over.
Right.
Oh, so yeah, like I said, I know and you're not the only people that I've heard talk about this particular aspect of the game. It's like a lot of people are really upset with the way that the progression system works. I don't think upset's a good way. It's just disappointed.
Disappointed.
Yeah.
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 For me, it's not disappointment as much as I'm just passionate about that it's just broken.
Right. Trying to decide if I like that wing or not.
Yeah, I've noticed you put it on and taken it off how many times now?
About 6.
Actually, it was better there than it was when it was in one more.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just glad that they actually put wings in the damn game.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell I was actually made a replica of a ship from space above and beyond that was flown by the angriest angel, Colonel McQueen.
Nice.
That's a hammerhead.
Okay, so we've already talked about the player progression. I know that Lift, you basically unlock everything.
Yeah.
Like you just do the console command to unlock everything and go about your business.
Wait, you do that?
Yes, there's a console command to do this. Yeah.
Goes to show how much adminning I do other than fixing bugs.
Right.
Yep.
So I myself actually do use the player progression for my playthroughs. I'm thinking that on some of my upcoming stuff, I'm probably going to stop doing that because you can only do it so many times before people are like, okay, you're spending 3 episodes unlocking everything to level 20, level 25 now, whatever.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm thinking I'm probably going to stop using it. Like I said, I'm happy.
Here we go. Another YouTube channel going to the creative mode.
No, I actually play in survival. Even when I use creative mode, I still go back to survival. Yeah. I know, right? Free build, yay!
No, I would love to have a tech tree that is based on what you do. I would love to see the research-based system, where you...
That would be amazing.
Yeah, like they have in the 4X games and stuff, where you build research centers or that kind of thing.
If you're a builder, you are in the building, the base stuff. If you're into the shipbuilding, you get the CV stuff. If you're building smaller vessels, you get the small vessel stuff.
Yeah.
Based on you actually doing stuff in that area. That would be amazing.
Yeah, you could have a personal skill tree as well as like the technology too. But yeah, I would love to see, you can unlock the more advanced parts by doing, by researching stuff or whatever,
right,
instead of just, look, I shot enough critters.
I completely support that idea. Hey, Lift, when we're done with this, I'm going to have you add that to our petition. Because you worded it right. I couldn't word that like that if I wanted to.
I think there's like most of the posts in the tech tree, when they first put the tech tree in, the thread on the actual Steam forums just exploded with comments like that. And I mean, basically people got used to it. Now people came into the game and it's already there, and so they don't know anything else.
Yep.
Right.
They didn't know the game without the tech tree and that kind of stuff. And so, I mean, if you played it without it and then you start playing with it, you notice that it doesn't add anything. You know what I mean? It's more like it subtracts from the experience more than it adds.
It's basically just a gating system that slows you down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fine with that in some regards when it's done right.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just, it's a little too heavy-handed for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's my biggest complaint with it.
I think the material gating would be better, you know? I mean, like, you can't build stuff that needs power coils because you haven't been to the lava planet to get the equipment for it, and that kind of thing.
And that's
I
the
agree
way
with
it
that
used
completely.
to be. Yeah. And that's the way it used to be in the game, if you remember back in the day.
It still is on my servers.
Well, and it still is. Even if you unlock stuff, you can't, you know, you can't you can't build without those power coils. You know, you can't build that stuff. So,
Right, but on almost every planet, including just the starter planets,
You can get them from POIs and some.
Very-
yeah,
very
you
easy
can
for
get power
POIs,
coils pretty
yeah.
easily now. Yeah, that's true.
because any POI that has a large reactor on it or large generator, and you've got your power coils.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why
I
one of the
did-
things that we're doing and we're working on is I've got a lot of community members working on personal POIs, so we can change
Yeah.
this up and actually get where our POIs will still be fun, hard, and difficult, and fun to go through and get things from, but won't have all the advanced stuff unless you're on one of those planets that can provide the resources that could make it themselves on that planet. So unless you on the lava planet, you're not going to be able to get the power coils and advanced CPUs unless you're on that lava planet with those POIs. Those POIs would be the only ones you can get it from. So if you're on the snow planet, you'll never find that in any of the POIs, no matter how much you tear it down.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, I would like that.
Yeah.
Because it is too, like I said, it's all of a sudden you got everything, you know. I've got nothing, I've got everything.
Right. Yeah, it is very much a flutter famine scenario. Okay, and I can't get this damn wing to balance.
You're 1 move forward. Actually, it looked better that way.
Wait, you like that one? When it was up further?
When it was up forward one and out off the wall one.
So, there?
Yeah, do the same thing to the other side.
Yeah.
It'll give it that stealth bomber look.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was kind of going for.
Because it'll match, if you put a block right here, it'll actually match the wing. If you got that sloped angle block, not the 45 one, but the, what is it, 33s?
Let's come out one.
There we go.
Hey, Lift, I noticed that you're using my colors.
Oh, yeah?
It matches every one of my ship builds here.
Is it?
Nice.
I'm like, I always use the same colors, so I'm going to try a different shade of blue this time. And
If you parked it
So
right next to the
cool.
hammerhead, it looks like it belongs in the fleet.
Cool.
Nice. Alright, so let's go one out. So, like that is what you're talking about?
Yep.
Okay.
There we go, like that.
Did you put
Yeah,
me in
I'm
the
look-
faction yet?
What's that?
You put me
Yes,
in the
you're in the
faction.
faction. You're in the faction. I got you in the faction. Sheesh. Alright, so, now everyone here, you guys have all been here for at least a couple of the betas, pre-alphas, whatever you want to call it, the pre-alpha to alpha migration. When one of the biggest things that they changed in the pre-alpha to alpha was the UI. When they did all of the UI restructuring, and even with the alpha 5 to alpha 6, I think they changed like the coloration and a couple of the locations on things. So what are you all thinking about the changes to the UI? Dangerous question.
Yeah, for me personally, it doesn't make that much of a difference. I'm not as the layout to me doesn't. I'm not a big UI person, I guess.
Okay.
And so the biggest thing is, the thing that drives me nuts is when you go into the cargo boxes and trying to empty them out. You know, I'd love to have some buttons. Some of the buttons are like really tiny, a lot smaller than they need to be.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, it's a UI. I'm sure it'll keep evolving too as they continue to go.
Yeah, I'm at the same stance there. It doesn't bother me either way.
Okay. I know that personally I've had people bring up the UI changes, and some of them going, well, why did they do this? It doesn't seem to make sense. And so, one of the things...
What do you think about that? On the left side.
Yeah, no, I actually like it. Why do I have a feeling that Lift is painting stuff? Damn it!
I don't know what you're talking about.
Son of a... and it's on both sides! Well, that lasted all like 20 minutes. Okay. So, you and Sharky, man. Sheesh. Can't let you guys have a paint gun at all, can we?
Right.
Why is it dangerous?
Hey, just remember, this is being uploaded for community consumptions.
Real men aren't afraid to wear pink.
That's right. Wow, you actually got the real pink in there, too. Nice. At least the other one was like this, call it teeny bopper lipstick or something.
Yeah, yeah. It's the whatchamacallit.
That's straight up bubblegum pink.
Oh, and I did make sure that you have the little cautions on the front so people know to get out of the way when you're coming.
It's the Avon lady car, right?
Hey, now that's my
nice.
Well, that's that color. That's that pink.
The nice thing is you can actually see where the damage is because it's the blocks are going to stand out really nicely. Nice.
Wait, what were we talking about again? I think we lost topic.
Okay, so we were talking about like the resources and player progression UI. So coming up to say just general gameplay, what would you say is your favorite aspect of just general gameplay?
PvP and the capital ships is my favorite.
Nice.
I like the building.
The building is my all-time favorite, but when you actually get to test the builds that you build, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that feeling of just watching them go head-to-head with another ship and just see if the idea actually was sound. You can build anything you want, but if you don't put it to practical testing, it's just like, okay, you made a beautiful ship, but now what? I like the fact that, like, the frigate, it got its butt annihilated by a bunch of pirates, but it was so freaking awesome. I loved it. I loved watching the bridge just get exploded.
Nice.
I know that's not a real word, ladies and gentlemen, but that's the feeling of it.
Well, and I mean, it is nice to be able to take something that you built and see it working, and hopefully working the way that you designed it to. Because, like you said, you take all this time to build something just beautiful, and half the time you never actually use it for anything other than to just look at it and go, "Hey, look at this! What I built." Mm-hmm. And a vanity project is fine, but it is definitely about how well does this thing work.
It's fun to see when they fail spectacularly too.
Oh yeah. Like I said, the frigate, I was so proud of it. People loved it, but it still got its butt handed to it by 2 pirate ships. And I loved every second. I mean, I'm probably the only guy out there that likes watching his stuff get blown up, but I enjoyed every second of it. I mean,
nice.
A ship that the ship itself lasted. It could have stayed in the battle, but the fact that I just got blown out of the sky within the first 3 seconds, and the ship's sitting there just defending itself now. So I know for a fact it could sit there and take a pounding and still stay running. But you don't want to be piloting it if a small vessel comes in and shoots you out of the bridge.
Yeah, that's usually a bad idea.
But it was just amazing. I loved it.
There we go. And we actually put landing gear on one of my ships for once instead of the docking pads.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of vanity project, we should get a vanity mirror for this thing.
Oh dear Lord. Put the Geordie LaForge visor up over the cockpit. Oh man. All right. So we were joking earlier about YouTube channels going creative mode and everything. What do you like about creative mode, or do you like creative mode at all?
The only thing I use creative mode is testing for the server. I mean, other than that, I don't even mess with it. It's just, what's the point to me?
Yeah.
I mean, because everything in our games that I play, even in the server, is all survival. So even if I did go play creative, it would just be a waste of my time. Other than maybe designing the ship there, because you could purchase your blueprints in the server and have it brought into it, but it actually costs gold ingots to do so. But other than that, there's no reason for creative on my end, so I don't even mess with it. So everything I've built is in-game on survival.
Okay. Yeah, because I know with me personally, I tend to mix it a little bit. Like if I'm doing because I've done playthroughs where I don't do anything, I won't do any mining, right? So it's salvage only. But I also put the restriction in that things like I've tried doing a playthrough where I didn't use a constructor at all. I had to go out and actually salvage all of the blocks. I couldn't build a constructor, but if I took over a POI, I could use the constructor to POI. You know, just to do things to try and make it a little bit more difficult to see what I could do with it. And when I do those types of things, then I'll use creative modes, because then I can use the blueprint manufacturing in order to get to get ships. That way I don't technically have to build anything. I just have to go get the resources.
But that takes away from the survival play. If you think about it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that
Why?
That's really the only time I kind of use survival or the creative mode in gameplay. Normally, if I'm using it, it's just to test some ideas and theory craft a little bit.
That's pretty much what I like it for. Is like you said, theory crafting and trying things out and seeing what kind of design works or doesn't work without having to spend so much time, putting a whole bunch of time into something to find out it's not going to work.
Right.
See, I'm on the exact opposite page on that one. Like, for instance, using the frigate as an example again, I built that in-game, harvesting the resources, crafting the blocks, and putting it together. I mean, you've seen it. It's a big project, and it's complete. And I did complete that in survival. And yes, I watched it epically fail. And but I had pride in it, though. I built that thing from scratch. And even though it failed, and now I know where it would fail at, I knew where it needs to be improved. I knew its weaknesses then. But I still had that sense of accomplishment and pride in the fact of putting all that time and effort into it. That I did that, and I love that feeling. And when I did this one build, I did do it in creative, and I did bring it in and through the factory, and I'm just like, I didn't care if it got blown up. It was just like, poof, okay, whatever. We just moved on.
Yeah, there's less connection to what you're building.
That's the word I'm looking for right there.
Yeah, that's why I don't use the factory. I don't use the factory myself. I would use a factory if they had one that was like a base that you had to build, sort of thing, and it slowly put the ship together as you fed it resources and that kind of thing. And, and then the aliens saw that you were building something and came after it and tried to destroy it and that kind of thing.
See, that's what we did on the servers. We implemented it's called a shipwright sector. There's one place on the server you can go buy your blueprints from and have them brought into the server. But you actually have to physically go there, you have to physically get it from there and transport it from there. Because, I mean, if you got 30 tanks in your factory sitting there ready to be spawned in, already complete, you can go to somebody else's playfield, spawn all 30 in, and you just kick someone's butt on their base and everything. You only had one tank and one person playing.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's definitely a mixed bag as far as what you get out of it. And, because like I said, I know that people have different opinions on things like creative mode, and it's always fun to see what other people think about it.
I mean, it's a two-edged sword, either way you look at it.
Yeah. There's just no way around it, unfortunately. But like you said, it's nice to be able to see what you're building ahead of time. You just did regular blocks there. Okay. Trying to recreate your reverse thing here.
Are you over on the other side of my ship painting stuff?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Not yet.
Hey, at least he's honest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how did you... Let me see. Maybe it's that way? Is that what... Oh, no, I know what you did. You used the other block. Okay.
That's right, the other one. That went over that way.
Yes. That's not the right way.
Hal is starting to sound like some of the commenters I get that ask me questions on Steam.
Yeah.
Which block? This one? No. Is it that one? No. How'd you do that? Can you do another video on that so I can see how it's done?
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm like, yes. And then I do the video, and then the other half of everyone's complaining, oh, there's too many build videos.
Alright, so somebody take this thing out and let me know what you think about how it handles.
Have fun, Lift.
Okay.
I'm scared.
You just don't want to be caught dead with the mismatched wings, right? Or did he fix the wings?
The wings are should be fixed. Yeah.
See, I have no problem with the pink, but I can't deal with the wings.
Needs more RCSs. It's very fast on the forward. Let me see.
Yeah, you should have comparable thrust and braking.
Okay. Yeah, it's very fast on the Z-axis.
The strafing is going to be a little bit low because I'm just using regular maneuvering thrusters.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, you don't want to fight anything in this.
Yeah. But my play style is more about like flight dynamic, so I actually fly more like a plane.
Okay. Yeah, that's I was looking around the workshop and I was trying to find ships that did strafing, and it's like they're all airplane style ships.
Yeah.
So it seems like I'm the weirdo that builds the ones that can strafe.
Oh no.
Well, actually, the one thing that I've noticed about what the developers have done, changing the way the turrets work and their distance and everything, and I love it, is that you can't sit there and shoot out of range anymore with an SV on a base and take out the turrets. No. You actually have to get in physical contact, in firing range. You can't sit still and strafe anymore. You have to fly in there and actually fight like a real man.
Oh, you can strafe. You can strafe, but
you can still cheese the turrets. I just did it on the Maya start. I took out the fortress with like no problem at all.
Oh.
Yeah. I rarely get it. I mean, I'll get hit 1 or 2 times when attacking a POI. I'll get 1 or 2 shots that actually hit my ship.
What happened?
But other than that,
I'm upside down. How did that happen?
Yeah, so missile systems on Aqua and Omicron based planets have like a 320-ish meter range, and the fortress, like the heavy turrets and everything, will fire at around 325. So you just put 2 missile launchers, pretty much centerline them, aim up on it, and because of the recent change that they did to the hit points on base turrets, on POI turrets, it only takes like 2 rockets to destroy them now.
Aww.
So.
Really? They reduced them again?
That was the last one that they did back in 6.2, 6.3.
Huh. Okay.
Because we're on 6.5.2 now.
Yeah.
Time to increase the gravity some more.
Yeah, so the hit points on those things were reduced a couple of patches ago. And you can, two of the SV missiles will take out any turret that I've seen so far, except for the alien plasma turret. I think that takes 3.
Okay.
Crying shame.
Yeah. So
I've been wasting ammo then using 4.
Yeah, the fortress, the Maya Start Fortress, which is also your drone base. I basically just came in, strafed the launchers on the one side closest to the core. Came back with the motorcycle with a bunch of charges and mining, dug under the base, and the core is still exposed on the bottom of the base, so you can mine under it.
Is that like the one we did in the speed run? That fortress?
Yeah, that fortress.
It's still exposed. Okay.
Yeah, they haven't updated it yet, which is funny because they've updated the interior. They didn't move the core.
Wow.
They didn't move the core.
The core is still on the bottom of the build, off to one side slightly. So yeah.
That's funny. I'm trying to think of a name for this ship. You guys got any ideas?
For the one you just built?
Vector.
Yeah. Vector?
It kind of looks like a coyote skull or something. Doesn't it?
I know what you're talking about.
Like
here when you see the skull in
these are his ears
in the desert.
Yeah, it looks like maybe like an elk or something, like when you see the the Wild West.
Call it
skull.
the moose.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The ram or whatever. Type of thing.
It's like a deer head or something. It's kind of cool.
Desert skull.
There you go.
We'll call it the desert skull.
Very nice.
And from this point on, you will always be known as Scully.
Oh, I'm over here. All right. So, So we've talked about the game. We've talked about modding of the game. We've talked about the community. Let's talk about Empyrion games for a bit. Right. How much?
I reserve the
access-
rights to remind you everybody that anything that I say here is not true or correct or anything of my opinion.
Yeah.
Very
The
true.
expressed are not my own. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, like we were talking off camera earlier, I was saying that I've actually talked to and worked through the PR contacts there. They have a public facing PR contact, their community manager and that such. So
Hummel?
anybody could actually reach out and chat with these guys. They seem to be really responsive.
Mm-hmm.
So from your side, have either of you really done a lot with Ilion Games? Have you talked to them a lot, and what's been your experience with them?
Well, I've talked to Hummel quite a bit. I like him. He's really nice. He seems to be like their liaison to the community. And if you approach him on the forums and stuff like that, he tends to respond and everything. So yeah, I don't know that I've had any contact with the developers directly, but I'm not sure who they are. You know what I mean? I know they're on the forums, but I don't know which users they are or anything. So, and I think they just they don't want to get too involved as far as like being overwhelmed with requests or something like that. I don't know if that's why they're quiet or what, but
Yeah, I've noticed that they are quiet.
but yeah, the contact I've had with Hummel has been very positive.
Nice.
So anyway,
On my end, it's just the most I've gotten into is just putting up the petitions directly towards them. That's about it. I do plan on getting a lot more active in the next coming month, seeing if I can actually make contact with them and getting these voices heard in one way, just so that way they know that instead of these hundreds of people all at once throwing things at them and then somebody else searching through them,
Right.
trying to make it easier on them so they have more specific from
yeah,
the
no, it
community.
definitely helps.
But that's what
That
my goal
definitely
is, to
helps.
try and make it a little easier on them to be able to have to only get like one thing that has everyone's support attached to it.
Right. Basically, cut down on the fluff that they have to filter through.
Exactly. That's what my goal is. That's if they're even willing to speak to me. But I'm gonna try. I am gonna try.
Yeah, like I said, I've never had a problem with them. I think that the community manager that I was dealing with at the time, and I haven't actually talked to them in probably about 6 months, unfortunately, just because my own schedule has been kind of hectic. But I've never had a real problem with them, and they've usually been really, really responsive to me. So I have to say it's nice because they seem to do that for everybody. It's not like they make a special consideration for, people who are doing YouTube stuff or people who are ridiculously visible on the forums. So, basically just kind of catering to it.
I've
They-
actually
they-
noticed that myself. I have the same stance when it comes to the way they're doing things. I think they're doing a great job. I have nothing against them in any way, and I actually support them completely in the way they're going. And they should keep going the way that they're doing it.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're doing a really good job with it. Oh, so do you guys ever look at the roadmap? That roadmap post that they did?
I haven't looked at it in a while.
Yeah. It's been a
General
while.
consensus, yeah. All right.
I've been so
Yeah, I'm
busy
just-
with developing the servers to match the stuff that they've been putting out. I haven't had time. I like the other day, I just had one of the guys mention that, oh yeah, did you know they changed this? And I'm like, what? And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh great. And I look at it and I'm okay, now I got another week's worth of work of changing and implement this to work right on the server.
Nice. Hey,
I don't even know what's coming.
Yeah.
take a look at your skull there, buddy.
the orange yellow. Nice. It's like the color that I never use.
Yeah, I know, that's why I used it.
Uh-huh.
I was going to use that ugly ass green that you like, but...
yeah, this one.
Yeah.
It would mix in well with it.
Oh.
There.
All right. So we've been here for about an hour, at least recording. In total, we've actually been here for, about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours now. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm at 2:07 on my timer.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and say, let's go ahead and start wrapping this up. On the way out, is there anything that you would like to say to Ilion specifically?
Grenades.
Grenades.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'll go with that.
And I really do.
Right.
I do really stand on the CV to CV docking being allowed. But that's just me and the other community members on that one.
Yeah.
It's just it would add such a great aspect to the game to be able to warp with different CVs in CVs for different purposes and stuff like that.
Right.
And it would increase the gameplay for individuals and not as being locked down to your one ship all the time.
Yeah, I think having dockable CVs like that would be great simply because of the fact that you would then be able to, like you said, you're not stuck with one ship, and having only to have a single CV with a jump drive would be nice. You know, maybe have a system where if there's multiple CVs, maybe it takes twice the fuel or something like that to do the same jump.
Yeah, that would work too.
But yeah, they really should do something with allowing CVs to dock to each other.
But if they don't give us anything else, and they just ignore everything that we all ever say, just give us grenades. That's all we ask.
Just the grenades.
You just love those grenades. All right, Lift, anything from you for Ilion?
I'm with the grenade thing.
The grenade thing?
Yep. Yep.
Awesome. All right, well, I'm going to say thank you both for taking part in this. Had a lot of fun hanging out and chatting with you guys, and we actually got some building done, surprisingly.
Yeah, I'm very proud of the Avon car here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
So Lift, since you built something, if you can give me the link that if you put it up on the workshop, and I'll add it to the to the description of this video. Links for this thing will actually be in the description as well. I want to thank you all for stopping in today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Also, a huge shout out to the folks at Ilion Games for putting up with all of our crap and bad mouthing.
Real quick, the links to all the ship builds that you've seen here that are all over the place. Anything from the community and mine that I built myself is also inside our collection and available for anyone to get any time to go play with and have fun with. Tear it apart, make something your own too, and let me see it. Show me the screenshots, send them over, let me put them in the server and show them all.
Yeah, and I think I have your community build link somewhere. But for those who are interested and want to actually see the Wolf community stuff, just hit that link over to TheeWolf, and you can just look at his community links directly. He'll have everything there on his channel.
Yubbers.
All right. So thank you guys again for hanging out and putting up with everything. Hopefully you had fun. I had a lot of fun doing it, and hope to be able to do this again.
Oh, I love painting your stuff pink. So yes, please.
Yeah, exactly. High five.
It was great. I enjoyed it.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. From us to everyone in the community, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any further questions or you want to see specific people in the future, just post them down in the link below. There's also an official thread for this series. So I will have links to all of that, obviously, in the description. And thank you again. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody.
And on my end, guys, remember to play hard and game harder, and always take it easy.
See ya.